So welcome back everyone for another lesson on the speaking skill. And of course, today we have a new topic to work on. Yes, and what is going to be? Before we really go into the lesson, I'd like to invite you to join me in a game. So the game is quite simple. The aim of the game is to help you recognize how close you are and how much you know about each other. Okay. So may I ask, how long have you been with each other in the online class? How long, Hannah? Like a month? Okay, so hopefully it's long enough. Now I have a test, okay, to see whether you know each other well. Okay. So the rule will be like this. Okay, it can be a little bit complicated, but no worries, I will give you an example. So I'd like one of you to ask another person, another student, whether he or she likes the following food. Okay, I'll show you the pictures, all right? And also, you have to anticipate the answer. And student B, the other student, has to answer the question, of course. However, try not to use yes, no, like, or don't like. Is it all right? Okay.
All right.
So, for example, Hannah, please, can you ask me the question?
Do you like eating pizza?
Okay, and you have to guess, make some guess, okay, about my answer. I
guess your answer should be you are a big fan of pizza.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. I'm really into pizza. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's how it works. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah. Now I'd like Hannah to ask Uyên the question. Sorry, ask Thư the question. Okay. Yeah.
Thư, do you like eating fast food? I guess your answer should be no.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm a big fan of fast food. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Right, cool. So, first time for Hannah. And okay, you made a wrong guess. It's all right. So now it's your turn, Thư. Okay. Can you ask Andy the question with this dish?
With this picture?
Okay, yeah, yes. Thư, ask Andy the question.
Do you like eating vegetable, Andy? My guess is
yes or no? No. Okay. So what's your answer, Andy?
Yeah, I'm not really into vegetables, eating vegetables.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So another wrong guess. Okay, no worries. Right. Again, now it's your turn, Andy. Right. Ask Hannah. Okay, the question.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hannah, do you love eating pho?
Mm-hmm. And your guess? What's your guess?
I think she does.
Okay, yeah. So what's your answer, Hannah?
Of course, I'm a big fan of pho.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Easy guess.
Oh, easy guess, really. Of course, if it's for me, I can't make any guesses, okay, because I don't know much about you. So, Andy, now I'd like you to ask Thư the question.
Oh. Thư, do you like eating fried chicken?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess roast chicken, but
roasted chicken, yeah, roasted.
Actually, we can call it roast chicken. Okay, that's the correct phrase.
Yeah, roasted chicken.
In this case, roast is an adjective, and it modifies the noun chicken. Okay. Yeah. So, what's your guess, Andy?
I think she likes.
She likes. Okay, roast chicken. So, what's your answer, Thư?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Right. It seems like Andy knows a lot about you. Okay, so two correct guesses. Now I'd like to ask Hannah the question.
Are you a big fan of seafood?
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yes, I'm very interested in seafood.
Okay. As I have noticed, Thư didn't.
Oh, I haven't guessed.
Yeah, but it's all right.
I think it's a yes because like no one can resist seafood. I think.
Okay, so let's assume that is your guess. Okay, it's all right. Actually, I agree with Thư that most of us are really into seafood, right?
Yes.
I am into seafood myself. I'm really keen on it. You know, my name is with the middle name. It is Hải Tiến. Okay, and perhaps I'm really into hải sản. Okay, yeah. So there is a connection between the two. Okay, so last turn for you, Hannah. Let's ask Andy the question, right? Okay, how about this one?
Oh, Andy, do you like eating beef steak?
And your guess? Sorry, your guess, Hannah? Okay.
I guess your answer should be no.
Well.
Just
why no?
Okay, all right. How much are you sure about the answer? 100%?
I'm not sure because I don't know much about Andy.
Oh, really?
I think it's a wrong guess.
Yeah, what a pity. Okay. No worries.
I think Thư knows the answer.
So
yeah, beef steak is one of my favorites. But I mean, like, you know, it's too expensive, so I don't eat it all the time.
Yeah, I agree that beef steak is just an amazing dish, and you know, it's rich in protein. But I agree that if you go for something like Kobe beef, that's high quality beef, okay, yeah, it should cost you an arm and a leg. Okay, so it's just a fun activity to get started with the lesson today. I am sure that you know the topic of the lesson today. It's about food. Okay, and of course you may encounter the questions regarding food in part 1, part 3, and part 2 of the test, but the focus of the lesson today would be on part 2. Yes, so I hope that by the end of the lesson you are able to talk for at least 2 minutes on the topic of food, right? I'll show you the question later. But before we are able to do that, of course, we need some vocabulary. I'd like to ask Thư, do you often go to a restaurant?
No, I don't.
Okay. How about you, Andy?
I used to, but when I like went to Canada, just not much.
Okay, I agree. I think that in Vietnam, street food is kind of
popular.
Okay, so it's really popular, and
that's right.
we also have a lot of restaurants or some street vendors, so we often eat out. Okay. So when you go to a restaurant anyway, or sometimes when you have a big meal on some special occasion at home, it's likely that you have a large meal with different parts of the meal, right? And we have different vocabularies to call the dishes of those parts. I guess you know most of them already, but yeah, just listen to the recording in which a man will talk about his meal, okay, the meal he had last night, okay, and filling the blanks with the given words, all right? Okay, so I hope you're ready, right?
1.
Can you hear the sound?
I went to a new...
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, cool, right. So let's do it.
1. I went to a new steak restaurant last night that opened near my house. I love trying new places. To start the meal, I had an interesting appetizer. It was some kind of seafood with a spicy sauce on it. The main dish, of course, was steak. It was very small and a little tough, though. However, the vegetables were great, nice and fresh, but not too oily. The final thing was the best, the dessert. It was apple pie with a lot of ice cream on it. I know that I shouldn't eat so many sweets, but it was delicious.
Okay, cool. Right. I hope you've got all of your answers. It's not too difficult, right? Is it? So, Hannah, what's for number one?
I had an interesting appetizer.
Appetizer, okay. For number two, please.
The main dish.
Yeah, the main dish course was steak. Okay. And number three, Andy?
The dessert.
Okay, the final thing was the best, the dessert.
Dessert.
Okay, good job. Now, I'm sure that you know the meaning of these words, so I'd like to ask who first, okay? Can you explain any of these without saying it out so that your friends can guess which word you are talking about, okay? Kind of you are paraphrasing or you are giving the definition of the word, okay? Go ahead, please. So
Sweet.
Okay, can you make an example? For example, an example of this kind of dish is sweets. Okay.
Yeah. So an example of this kind of dish is sweet.
Sweets or apple pie or ice cream.
I don't want to make it like too obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Right. Okay. Yeah. So what's your guess, Hannah?
Dessert.
Of course, right. So thank you, to good explanation. Good. Andy, your turn.
The other two might be hard, you know. It's almost the same.
Oh, really? No, I don't think so. Yeah. So you may talk about the time when people have it. Yes.
It is some kind of dish that people have at the beginning of the meal.
It's quite obvious, right? So, what's your answer? I guess that's enough.
It's appetizer.
Okay, of course, right. Now I have another question, which is, to make it more difficult for you to, do you know a synonym of this word, appetizer?
Ooh. Tough.
Okay, so I would say this kind of dish is to start the meal. So we can call it the starter, right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
I was about to say first.
So sometimes it can be really easy, right? Appetizer or starter.
Okay.
And to make it more complicated, you can say something like, this kind of dish help to arouse the appetite of the diner. Okay, and of course, can you give the explanation for main dish, Hannah?
For example,
main dish means
like it's usually the heaviest or more complex food
Oh yeah.
in the middle of the meal.
Good job. Right. So main dish is basically what you have in the middle of the meal, and it is usually a staple food, right? Like rice or something that people often eat every day. And of course, main dish is the one that makes you full. Okay, compared to appetizer or dessert. Okay, good job. Thank you. Secondly, I'm going to go through this one quickly. Okay, I'll talk about how the food is cooked, how much it is cooked. Right. So, Andy, what's your favorite?
I think it would be medium rare.
Okay, medium rare. Okay, in Vietnamese it is tái. Yeah, hơi tái tái. Okay, like when you go for phở. Okay, we ask for the same thing. And how about you, Hannah? Well done.
I prefer well done.
Oh yeah, cool. Perhaps it's safer if you are concerned about food hygiene or food safety. And Thư, do you like this one? Sorry.
No.
Okay. No, underdone.
Medium.
Medium. Okay, cool. Right. I guess nobody in the world is interested in underdone food or overdone steak, right? Okay.
Sometimes I think so. Some people like underdone.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perhaps, especially when they go boozing,
Yeah.
when they want to have a beer, have a drink or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people eat like fresh. No, I don't think.
Do you mean something like sashimi in Japanese
kind of,
cuisine? Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, I agree. They can eat seafood, raw seafood. Okay. Next, flavor. Now I'll show you the food and you let me know the flavor you have in mind. Okay. Let's try to do that quickly within 3 seconds. Okay. Andy.
Sweet.
Sweets. Okay. Thư.
Salty.
Salty. Okay. Yes. Next, Hannah.
Spicy.
Spicy. Okay, cool. Are you into spicy food, Hannah?
Yes. I'm a big fan of Korean food. So.
Yes. I think Thai food is the same. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. And actually, we have a synonym of spicy, which is very simple. 3 letters, starting with H.
Hot.
Hot. Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, hot. Mm-hmm. Why not? Right. Sometimes the language can be really simple. Andy again.
Wait. I can't see the picture.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's bitter.
Bitter. Okay, bitter. I agree. Yes, bitter. And that's why we call this, right?
Bitter melon.
Bitter melon, yeah. Hannah?
Sure.
Sour.
Oh, sour.
Okay, yes. Right. And this can be difficult for you.
What's that?
Various? Oh no, not various.
Yeah.
Savory. It's savory, not various. Savory.
Oh, okay. Or in British English, we can call it flavorsome. Yes, flavorsome.
Flavorsome.
Yeah, flavorsome. Because and actually, I think this is a feature of Vietnamese cuisine. We often try to have a balance of different flavors, and we have a combination of different flavors in the food. Right, like when you go for Huế style of beef noodle, bún bò Huế, right? Or
Bún bò Huế.
yes, we have beef. We have the bone stock. Okay, nước hầm xương, bone stock. Okay, and we have chilies. We have lemon. Yes, or lime actually. Okay, now I have a game. So Hannah, you can think about any kind of food in your mind. Any kind of food in your mind. But if you can't think of anything, you can have a look at these pictures and say aloud the name of the food, and another friend will have to make guesses about the flavor. One flavor is enough. Mm-hmm. So Hannah, okay, go ahead. Yes.
Grapes.
Grapes. Okay. Andy? It's hard to say. Yeah, grapes. Andy?
I think it's a bit tender.
Uh-huh.
It's a mix of sweet and sour. standard.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it can be a little bit sour too. Okay, yes. Thứ, okay. A food, right.
Nuts.
Nuts, okay. So Hannah?
Hard one.
A hard one, really. Hannah?
Flavor of that?
Flavor.
I think it's flavor.
How do they taste? Okay. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk about the raw one, right? The original one. Okay, not the salted one or anything. Right. It can be hard. Okay.
It's kind of like salty, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So, Andy?
I will give to rice.
I'm sorry? Rice.
Rice.
Rice. What do you think, too?
Like, there's no taste.
It's tasteless. It's tasteless, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
Tasteless.
Okay. Perhaps. But I think it's a little bit sweet. A little bit sweet.
Sweet?
Yes.
A little bit, I think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure if I've got it right, but you know, if my memory serves me right, I've read somewhere that, you know, for example, people with diabetes should restrain themselves from eating too much rice.
Yes.
Especially,
Diabetic.
yeah, rice only, right? But without any other kind of food, right? To have a balance in your body in terms of the nutrients and other substances. Okay, so perhaps it has some connection with your sugar level in the blood, right? Okay, so actually we have learned some more vocabulary through this activity, right? And just for your information, sometime, especially when it comes to you know, European food or Western food, I think they have this flavor. I'm not sure if it's a flavor, but this is the adjective to describe the taste. Bland. Okay. So for example, when you talk about cheese, and if it's not salted cheese or something, you know, it doesn't have any clear flavor, we can call it bland. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Move on. Sometimes we talk about food and we constantly say that the food is delicious. That's our feeling about the meal, the food, the dishes. However, it can be boring if we keep using this word over and over again. So I would suggest some more vocabulary. Okay, do you have in mind some? Let me give you some suggestion. Okay, Andy, what's the word?
Tasty.
Tasty. Okay, cool. Hannah, how about this one?
Yummy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Okay, why not? Right. Who?
Mouth-watering.
Mouth watering. Okay, mouth
Or
watering.
mouth-watering.
Yes. Okay. Yep. And the last one. Okay, it can be yes, unfamiliar, more unfamiliar compared to the other ones. Scrumptious. Okay. Yes. So tasty, yummy, mouth-watering, and scrumptious. Most of them are informal, and of course we can use them because we are using spoken language in the test, in the speaking test. Okay. So the last activity before we really go into you know, the practice on part 2 would be this one. I'll give you 1 minute, okay, to rearrange the pictures so that you have a story in mind from these pictures. Okay, don't think about part 2 or anything. Okay, I just want you to be, you know, natural, just your own logic, right? So you can rearrange the pictures in your own logic, right? 1 minute.
But we follow the photo like A, B, C, D, E, F. Right?
No.
No?
Yes, no. Okay, just randomly.
Just randomly?
Yes, don't take it too seriously. Okay.
So I can like A, C, D, B, E, F?
Yeah, yes, whatever. Okay, whatever. So that you have a story of your own. Right.
I think I know. I don't know.
Cool. Okay, go ahead.
So I think the first one, I guess, is C, because like after their graduation, and then they
decided to do something special.
Decided, like they text each other, and yeah. So C and A.
Okay, C and then A.
C,
right?
then A, and yeah,
Okay.
and then F, like when after they text each other and they have decided to go to the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So that's
okay.
F. And then D. So they order the meal.
Okay. Cool.
And then E. So
Yes.
they enjoy the meal.
Yes.
And then last one is B.
Okay, the last one is B. Okay. Yes, I think it's really a logical order, right? In terms of the times, the series of events happening. Right. Cool. Do you have another order, another logic, another story to share with us, Tim? Do you have another story?
No. Mine.
Yes. Okay. It should be similar to Andy's, right? So how about you, Hannah?
I think so. I have the same idea with them.
Okay, cool. And great minds think alike. Okay, tư tưởng lớn gặp nhau. Right, great minds think alike. Right. So I guess your order is not much different from mine. So my story is the same. Right. So for example, regarding food, we have this one as the topic question in part 2. Okay, you asked to describe a dinner that you really enjoyed. And I would say this kind of question is a past event question, which means you're expected to talk about something happening in the past. And, for part 2, are you afraid of part 2?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. Why? What's your fear?
The first is time.
Time, okay. Is that you afraid that you don't have enough time to express your ideas? Or is that you think you can't fulfill the 2 minutes?
Both.
Yeah, so it varies, right? Okay. But if you haven't taken the test before and if you haven't had any practice, I think the latter is the common fear. We may think that we don't have enough ideas to fulfill the 2 minutes, okay? But I'll show you how we can, expand the ideas and, have a long story to tell. So the first thing that you should have in mind is that this is just a natural conversation between you and the examiner. You don't have to be too worried about it, right? You can just go ahead and tell the story, just like you are telling your friend the story. You want to add some information, as much information as possible, so that your friend understands what's happening, okay, in your story. That's it. So try to add any details as possible, okay, to your story. That's it. That's the first point. Okay. So for example, we talk about when, what, who, where. Why not? Why? Where? The cue card doesn't ask you the question about where you had the meal, but it's totally all right if you want to add some more information about the location, okay? Any detail as possible. Okay, so for example, this one is my story. First, we may mention some background information. Yeah, I'm not sure if you have seen this way of developing ideas, but I recommend this one. If you think that for this cue card, well, I have nothing to say. I have nothing much to tell the examiner. Okay, you can add some background information. Like, to be honest, I am the kind of person who prefers having meals at home instead of eating out. However, I agree that sometimes eating out or going to a restaurant can be a better idea, especially when it comes to a get-together with some friends. Okay, so that's the background information. Now, okay, I'll tell you about a time when I had an enjoyable meal with my close friend. So it took place on the day after my graduation at university. Okay, most of my friends couldn't come on my graduation day, so we, after some discussion, right, we decided to have dinner the day after. And the place that we went to was a restaurant called Hoàng Yến, which was actually our favorite place for years. And okay, it's located in the heart of the city, so it was really convenient for all of us to get there. So because it was a special occasion, so we had a large meal, we ordered a lot of food. I myself had garlic bread as the appetizer, while my friends chose salad because they thought salad can be healthier. However, for the main dish, we all had meat-based dishes, okay, like beef steak, roast chicken, lamb, or seafood, and they were just mouth-watering. My beef steak was well done, not overdone, so the beef was not tough, okay, and it was really flavorsome. Yes, and we talked about the activities during the meal, okay, whether we had the meal only or we did something else, like we talked with our friends, we had a lot of fun, we hadn't met each other for a long time, so we had a lot to say, okay, and we talked about desserts, like was it great or not, okay, and finally we talked about the general feeling, right, overall, it was an enjoyable experience. So now I would expect you to prepare in 1 minute and give a talk in 2 minutes. Okay, do you want to volunteer, any of you? So Hannah, yes, you can do it, okay, yes.
Me?
Let's begin, right, let's begin. Right. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Last year I went to Canada for the first time, and my parents were with me. So to commemorate my the start of my new life in the start of my new life year in Vancouver. So we decided to have a party at a restaurant named Cactus Club, and then we ordered like 3 medium-sized beef steak with French fries. Okay. Especially I'm the one who likes to eat the food which already cooked. I mean, really cooked. So I ordered the beef steak that is well done, and it doesn't get too chewy to eat. Okay. So we already had a really fun party at there. Yeah.
Okay. And you know, besides the main dish, did you order anything else?
Oh, can I say more? Okay. And then like after the main dish, we ordered 3 cupcakes with a little bit chocolate chip on the top, and it's really good. I was enjoying it too much. Yeah. So, and my father told me next time when they came here again that we will go to that restaurant.
Okay. All right. So in general, did you enjoy the experience?
Yes, I was really enjoying the restaurant and the food in there.
Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, so it's 2 minutes. Okay. So as you can see, no worries. Okay, take it easy. So first, I'm sure that you all have good vocabulary. You have a good command of vocabulary as well as grammar. Yes. Okay. I knew from the first moment, okay, that we've talked, all of you. However, when it comes to the strategy, you need more work on your strategy so that you can always talk in 2 minutes, although you don't have much to say. And I'll give you some suggestions. Okay, so I'll talk about how to fulfill the 2 minutes talk first, all right? First, as you can see, I often, get started with some background information. For example, when I talk about a trip, okay, on my holiday, I would say something like, wow, to be honest, I'm not really keen on traveling because for me it's kind of time consuming and we have to do a lot of preparation, However, sometimes on the special occasions, and I want to have fun time with my friends or family members, so I go to a different place to enjoy my holiday anyway. So today I'll tell you about something. Okay, so it's really long. It can be really long. Okay, but of course it's not off topic, and of course I don't recommend you. Okay, I don't recommend that you use this all the time. Just when you find nothing else to say and you have feeling like, oh, it's going to be a very short talk. Yeah, okay, got it. So you can make use of that one. Okay, that's the first one. Second, for example, on a cue card, you often see questions like who you were with. So you may talk more about the person, like how well you two know each other, how long have you know each other, and do you two get along well with each other, something like that. So you can always have more details to your story. And you often see the question about where, for example, where, in this case, a restaurant. So you may mention not only the name of the place, you can also say something about how far it is from your place, your house, your school. For example, it is within walking distance of my house, so my family visit the place often. Okay, and you may also talk about how often you get there, and using what means of transportation. Okay, so we always have details associated with when, who, okay, when, who, where, okay, so, and add some background information. Okay, Hannah, right. And remember, try to add more details. For example, any kind of food, not only the main dish, okay, and you ask yourself the question, what, how it tastes, for example, and how about the other people? You like the food, but how about your parents? Okay, yes. So that's about the coherence, fluency, and ideas. Okay, your pronunciation is generally good, so I won't say anything more about it. Okay, let's talk about lexical resource. Okay, you use the word commemorate. Okay, to mean that your parents ask you to go to a restaurant to celebrate the event, your a life event that you started new life in Canada, right? So actually commemorate sounds inappropriate in this context because it is kind of too formal, like we commemorate a victory in the history. Yeah, a big ceremony, right? A big event and a significant important event in the past. So I suggest to mark this special day in my life, or to celebrate, the events or something. It is better compared to commemorate. Okay, so I think that's enough for the lesson today. That's it. Have a good night. And thank you for your time again. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, thank you. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Okay.